The conventional approach to product development, the build, measure, learn cycle, has been bedrock for many product teams. This methodology emphasizes building quickly, measuring results, and then learning from those outcomes to iterate and improve. While it encourages speed and adaptability, it also comes with significant downsides, especially when it comes to efficiency of the people who are doing the work. Too often, product teams find themselves pouring time and energy into features that ultimately fail, resulting in wasted time, lost opportunities, and often a shift in product strategy. The root of this problem lies in the fact that the build, measure, learn cycle often prioritizes action over understanding. Teams rush to build, but without sufficient insight into the true needs of their customers, they risk developing solutions that may miss the mark. This is where a shift in approach from building first to learning first can make a profound difference. One of the things I teach in all my Agile classes is the emphasis on initiation and ideation and discovery, so that when we do finally get to delivery and build out, we're spending as little time as needed in the delivery and build out phase because we have the work done in initiate and discover to identify who the target audience is, what problem we're trying to solve, and all those good things. So the essence of the learn first approach is simple. Prioritize understanding your customers' needs before you start building a product or service. By dedicating time to uncover deeper customer needs, product managers ensure that the solutions they develop hit the mark with the customer satisfaction while developing a clear product management process for themselves. Consider this scenario. A product team is eager to develop a new feature they believe will delight the users. Instead of jumping straight into development, they first conduct customer interviews, observe user behavior, and analyze existing data. Through this learning phase, they discover that while the feature idea is interesting, it doesn't address a core pain point the customer is experiencing. This early insight prevents the teams from wasting months building a potential feature that would have ultimately failed and inspires confidence in moving in a new, more impactful direction that will deliver on the business goals and keeping that customer happy. The learn, prioritize, build approach flips the conventional model on its head. Instead of rushing into building, product managers begin by gathering insights and learning about the problem space. Once they have a thorough understanding, they prioritize the most valuable opportunities based on these insights. Only then do they move into the build phase, armed with the confidence that they're solving the right problem and doing the right thing. This shift in approach offers numerous benefits. First and foremost, it reduces the risk of failure by ensuring that teams are working on solutions that truly matter to the end user. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people build products and services that they think are going to make a difference, but the end user's like, yeah, that's great, but not exactly what I wanted, right? Additionally, it promotes more efficient use of people as teams avoid building features that have little chance of success. Ultimately, leads to faster and more effective product prioritization and build cycles as teams are able to focus their efforts to the most impactful product initiatives. It is important to note that a learn first approach doesn't mean that you should always delay what you're going to build. The key is to assess the level of risk associated with each decision. If the risk is low and the team has sufficient confidence and clarity in what they're doing, it's appropriate then to move straight into building. However, if there's uncertainty, such as a new market, unfamiliar customer segment, or innovative feature, it's critical to invest time in learning before you proceed to the end. For example, if a team is adding a feature to an existing well-understood product, they may choose to build first, rely on their existing knowledge. Conversely, if they're entering a new market with different customer needs, it's critical to spend a little bit of time learning before building to mitigate the risk of failure. One of the most significant challenges in product management is identifying and prioritizing high-risk areas. I believe it was Marty Kagan who came up with a framework of risks: value risk, usability risk, feasibility risk, and business viability risk. This provides a valuable lens which to evaluate the decisions and choose your most important tasks that you need to work on. So we start with value risk. Value risk is the risk that the customer won't find a feature or product valuable. So if you prioritize this and you focus on this risk first, as delivering value is the cornerstone of product success, you should conduct customer interviews, surveys, do market research, have focus groups, validate the customer's needs, and validate that the feature actually solves a real problem that they're struggling with. Then there's usability risk. This is the risk that users won't understand or be able to use the feature effectively. If the value is validated, you should shift your focus to usability. Engage designers early to create prototypes and conduct usability testing with target users. Next is feasibility risk. That's the risk that the team can't build the feature due to technical constraints or limitations or something that's outside of their reach. After you've prioritized value and usability risk, and that's all confirmed, then you can assess the technical feasibility and collaborate with engineers to explore technical challenges, effort scores, identify potential roadblocks. How are you going to power through and build these things? And does it make sense given the existing product or service that you have in place? And then finally, you want to do business viability risk. This is the risk that the feature won't align with the business's strategic goals to get to the North Star, or it may not even be profitable. In this scenario, once you're confident in value, usability, and feasibility, you can engage with stakeholders like your sales team or other stakeholders to ensure that the feature aligns with business objectives and the financial model set forth by the organization. So once you've got that in place, it's essential to test those risks to make sure you understand how it's going to be affected in the feature. Make sure that a manager collaborates with the design team to create low fidelity prototypes of the feature. You can test those prototypes in a controlled environment, such as A/B testing, and look for the outcome. You need to gather feedback from these tests in order for the team to refine the design and address any usability concerns before any code is written. So this just gives you a nutshell idea of how this might work and how it really helps. So to successfully implement the learn, prioritize, build approach, product teams need to establish a clear framework for assessing and communicating risk. This involves creating a risk framework. Create a robust risk framework that outlines the different types of risk and write down how to assess them and what types of tools you're going to need to make sure that happens. Next, you need data collection methodologies. Decide on the methodology your team will use to gather the necessary data to score the risk correctly, and this should include customer interviews, data analysis, usability testing, anything else that you think would be helpful. Then finally, stakeholder buy-in. Secure buy-in from key stakeholders, including senior leadership, to ensure the approach is understood, supported, and integrated into the broader approach to the development process. So I think that if you shift from the build first mindset to the learn first mindset, it's going to help you create better products and services that wow the audience and give you the impact that you want with as little output as possible. That's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have a comment or question about this episode or any other, or if you have a request or something you want us to cover, feel free to reach out to us, learn more at AgileDad.com. We would love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.